can't get any medical attention because they don't have health care insurance. And so that's exactly why that's one of the reasons I support Bernie Sanders for president, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. Doesn't look like he's even going to be the nominee. They're going to nominate Joe Biden, who seems to have lost his faculties. I mean, he's not peeing on himself or anything like that, but he's not of sound mind anymore. And he's about to be nominated. He's about to be the Democratic nomination for president. Mr. Joe Biden, which don't have anything against Joe Biden, personally. But when you're about to be nominated for president, you should be of sharp mind, sharp mental state. You should have. And I don't think Joe has that. So it's going to be a very interesting race. You got Trump, the jackass, and a guy who is allergic to telling the truth, President Trump. Then you get Joe Biden, who is mentally unstable. He's getting old, 78 years old, I think he is, 76, somewhere around there, 70s, and he's in his late 70s. Let's just put it there. Let's put it there that way, because all of them are in their 70s, mid to late 70s. President Trump is 74. Those other two are either 76 or 78. Bernie Sanders seems to be the only one of them that's in his right mind right now. But who knows when that's going to slip. I mean, the guy is in his 70s. Late 70s, all three of them. I mean, President Trump's the youngest one of all of them. That might not make a difference as far as he's concerned, because he's just been a jackass no matter what his age is. He really just has no business being president, but people seem fit to vote for him for their reasons, a lot of reasons that they have, none of which have to do with qualifications, obviously, but this is how a democracy works. Outside of, you don't have to get the most votes. You just have to get the majority of votes in the majority of states. You don't have to get the majority of votes in the whole country to become president. Just get the majority of votes in 26 states, and you can become president, basically. Because President Trump didn't get the most votes in the whole country. Hillary Clinton got 3 million more votes than President Trump, but he got the most votes in 26 states. He got the most votes in more than 26 states, but she got the most votes overall, but he got the Electoral College votes. I hate to turn this into a political show, which it's not. But in our current climate, we got to talk about whatever is going on. And that's my promise to you as an audience. And the audience will pick up, I promise you. Not that anyone cares. If you're listening, you only care about what you're hearing, which I get. I totally understand. This show won't always be based on politics or news or worldly knowledge, because the coronavirus is hitting all of us on the planet. It's affecting all of our lives. So it's more than just political news. It's just being used in politics on one side or the other, one side of the aisle or the other. But that's the life that we live right now. That's the current state of affairs for now. And we'll deal with it. We'll live with it. But right now, I'm hoping to take a break. I'm hoping to go off to a commercial, 30 seconds. And we'll be right back. If it even goes to commercial. We've had some issues. But I keep saying we'll be right back after this.
And now, without further ado, the man we've all been waiting for, T-Jam D. Welcome back to the show.
We're back. Thank you, lovely lady. Thank you. Yes, we're back. All right. I know most of us are all coronavirused out, so we're going to move on. Talk about a little bit of something else mixed in with the coronavirus. Totally like to talk about something else that has nothing to do with the coronavirus, which we will get to. But right now, we're going to talk a little bit about sports and see where everybody is. And last time we were on, I said that the Olympics had been postponed, which postponed means, from what they did, it means canceled, because they canceled the Olympics and said they're going to postpone it until next year. So Olympics are supposed to happen every 4 years. The Summer Olympics we're talking about. It was scheduled to happen this year, in the summertime, which is 2.5 months away. But they decided, with the coronavirus spreading the way it is, that they're going to, it would be probably asking too much of all the countries to send all their athletes to, I don't even remember where the Olympics are supposed to be held this time. But I think they've decided not to send the athletes to any specific location during the pandemic. So that's probably the right thing to do. Not to send the athletes into harm's way. They're probably already in harm's way at home. You don't want to, have them traveling into something that could be worse, might not be as bad, but they don't know, and just don't want to put them in any undue harm traveling. It's definitely if you haven't already come in contact with somebody with this virus, if you're traveling, chances are you are going to, because you're traveling. Traveling to different areas where people may or may not have the virus, and it may or may not be easier to catch, which it will be easier to catch the more people you come in contact with. So that's the idea, to avoid then actually playing the games, the sports, where you're going to have several people in a court or a field, or in a rink of some kind, in a competition where they're contacting a lot of these sports, basketball and boxing. Definitely, they're punching each other and not even wearing shirts. So You got sweat slinging and splashing, sometimes even blood in boxing. So I guess, I don't know, maybe even if it was the Winter Olympics, they probably would cancel it or postpone it until next year. So I guess they're just going to have the Olympics next year and in 3 years. So, that's cool. That's cool. If you can pull it off, make it happen. So, as I've said before, I've been watching a lot of games. Just tonight, I watched the Super Bowl 12 between the Cowboys. The Cowboys are my favorite team. I watched the Super Bowl 12. I like to only watch the games, old games, that are being replayed. I like to only watch the games where my team won. Even games that were live that I missed, if I recorded them, DVR'd them. If I find out before I watch that game that my team lost, I won't watch it. I just delete the video. So I was going on NFL Network and seeing what Super Bowls they had posted, and I watched Super Bowl 27, I think it is. It might be 28, where the Buffalo Bills and the Cowboys played, which they played 2 years in a row. So it might have been both 27 and 28. But I got to go back and check it out. But I watched one of them. I think the one I watched was the first one, the Super Bowl 27, I think. They might have 28 on now. But this is how this coronavirus is, infected all of our lives. I'm sitting here talking about Super Bowls that have happened over 20 years ago. Super Bowl 27 and 28. And now we're on 54, I think. So, anyway, I've been watching on some old games, old Super Bowls. I watched the Cavaliers in 2016. Not that old. But game 7 against the Warriors in the championship. The Cavaliers won the championship. The only time they actually won the championship in 2016. So that's really what's going on in sports, is old games and also races. NASCAR race. But in NASCAR, they just play random races. It's not really like some playoff race or Daytona 500. They just play random races that was like a good race, dramatic race. It wasn't like it was the same person in the lead the whole time, and he just wins at the end. None of the other cars even close to him. For those of you who like racing, you probably know why I'm laughing, because even if you like racing, that's considered a boring race. But it happens. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. I'm watching dumb shit on TV. Old sporting events, which I'm not opposed to. That's why they have ESPN Classic. They show old sporting events, championship games, fights, Muhammad Ali, Frazier.